Yo, boys and girls, what's up? Welcome back to another match analysis / reaction video with yours truly, Mirko. This was a big one. A lot of you guys requested it right after the game actually ended. I remember I was still casting week 6 day number 4, and I saw in the live comments a lot of people were saying TNC beat BREN. So I know the score, as usual. I have tried to stay away from spoilers as much as possible, except for the score itself. I think it's really time to dissect what happened, right? Was it BREN who just trolled, who gave away the victory because maybe they underestimated TNC, or was TNC just that good? Because I've seen some comments here and there saying like, even though TNC haven't been doing too good this season, they have showed a lot of glimpses of brilliance, right? So we'll see. I've never watched a TNC game before. No cap. The only person I know on this lineup is Benthings. Yeah, that's basically it. That's how blind I am for TNC. But all right, let's go. Let's get into the drafts.
Let's go into the draft here. It's TNC
Just as Leo says it too. TNC with first pick in the first game. Kaja and Arlet and Glue Ban. Don't know if I don't know the order as you know, the order of things. I don't know if BREN won game 1, if TNC won game 1. So we'll see. I mean, like, in Indonesia, I don't know why, but the first pick has an advantage. I think this has been the case since M4. The first pick has had a pretty good advantage in terms of win rate, because it always has a better win rate. So Glue Fanny, Kaja, Arlet coming in. No Wanwan, no Joy yet. In Indo, we still see the Wanwan and the Joy. Yeah, I could honestly, to be completely honest with you guys, I don't think the Wanwan is like prio ban anymore. It's prio ban if you're up against like a really good Wanwan, but if you're up against an okay Wanwan, just a good Wanwan, not a very good Wanwan, I'd say just let it go. The Joy though, I still think Joy is yeah, Joy's a bit still too broken to be let go. I don't know though, maybe BREN wants to try to counter it. Valentina. Usually when you see the Valentina, the Faramis should be the one that's like that they're aiming for, but I got word on week 6 day 4 of MPL Indonesia that the Faramis has been globally banned because of a bug. So I don't think the Faramis, I think that should apply here too for MPL PH, right? There's no way it's just in MPL ID, but the Joy is going to be banned out. I think the Wanwan, yep. I don't know how good TNC are on Wanwan, but if they're not really, if like their gold laner isn't too good on the 1-1, isn't like crazy good on the 1-1, they should let it go. Yep. Let me get the Forest up first. Yeah, the Parcel pick is a good it's a good 1-1 counter. If you want to counter 1-1, it's either like the Purifies, the range, the burst. That works too, or mobility. They can get away from the 1-1's weakness points and range. So that's why the Irithel gets picked up a lot, the Farsa, the Lolita, right? Those things. And even for a certain time, Diggy was a pretty good, like after the nerfs towards the weakness points, Diggy was an okay pick up against the 1-1 because of the time journey, getting rid of the weakest points. Farsa pickup. It's going to be Yuzong and Yves. Pretty solid pick so far. Yves is... Yuzong into a Farsa is very good, but picking up a Yuzong this early might give TNC a chance to counter it again, right? So it's just basically like a counter game. Farsa gets countered by Yuzong, but TNC can like punish that even more now. They can go for... I'd say the 1-1 is okay here. I think the 1-1 is okay. The Yves is really good in lane. Pretty impressive still against the Farsa. I think TNC going for a good roamer that can get, can help the Farsa get proper mid control so that they can really utilize the mobility that Farsa brings into the game would be a pretty solid choice too. They can go for a roamer here. What roamer though? They go for the Lancelot first and the 1-1. Okay, so no roamer. They're just gonna wait for it. 99% pick ban rate, 100% win rate. 1-1's pretty good. I would say 1-1 is solid against Yuzong. With a built-in Purify and with the way she kites away, I think Yuzong kind of like becomes a free weakness point target for TNC. The Lance pick is an interesting one. I feel like it's very interesting because usually we do see the Fredrin, like prioed earlier than Lance. But maybe King Kong is just that confident on the Lance. Maybe it's also taken away from Kyle TZ, but I don't know. Looking at the composition right now, I'd say Hayabusa is like really good here. Against the Farsa and the 1-1, the Hayabusa is too good to let go. And they pick it up. It's a solid counter to the 1-1 and the Farsa, right? Two very vulnerable backline targets against the Haya. And then they ban the Hilda probably right now to just give the Hayabusa a little bit more leeway in the jungle. If they don't go for the Hilda ban, they're just probably going to go for a roamer ban. Like, if it's not Hilda, any other roamer. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a roamer that they need to ban here. KHUFRA? Should just be the Hilda, yeah. They'll go for Hilda. If they don't go for Hilda, maybe I think, you know, KHUFRA, but I don't know. TNC, they should be doing the same. I think banning on Lolita here would be pretty solid. I think it's with the roamer still left open, the Lolita becomes a solid choice. It's against the, like, you do not want a Lolita to be able to stop the 1-1, especially during the crossbow tanks. A bit too expensive. That's the Lolita ban. I don't know. I really don't know what they're gonna ban next. They can go for another roamer, like I said, like a KHUFRA, if they really want to give the Haya some space. The Lance is definitely gonna go to the jungle already, or they could ban out some XP laners too that do well against the Yuzong, giving it a pretty good lane. You know, pretty good matchup in lane. Who wins against the Yuzong though? Arlet Glue banned out already. Lapu? I don't know. I personally don't think the Lapu should be banned out here. BREN already have like a... Unless they want to go for like a very vulnerable gold laner. Sure, they can go for the Lapu ban if they want to go for a very vulnerable gold lane. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't... Terizla? They go for ban. Okay, so they go for Lapu. They want to go for a vulnerable gold laner. Should be. So they are not planning to go for Irithel, I believe. Irithel's pretty mobile. I think Irithel can do well. Backing away. What do they want to go for though? Like up against the 1-1. Beatrix. Beatrix is probably the only hero that I'd say does okay against the 1-1, except for the Irithel. The Claude, yeah, Claude does. Actually, there are a lot of heroes that do pretty well. It's not like, yeah, that's why the 1-1 isn't really prior anymore. She kind of lost a lot of power with the recent nerfs, even in lane, even in team fights, especially, dude. The crossbow tang. If you guys don't know, the range of the crossbow tang has been limited. They ban out the Melissa, which is a very good choice. I think the Melissa does the best. Bullies the 1-1 completely in lane, actually. But the 1-1 still has outplay potential against the Melissa. It's not like a pure counter. If they want to go for a pure counter, probably the Irithel. Like I mentioned. The KHUFRA is a solid choice too for BREN, actually. Because it's anti-dash. In Indo, we usually see like a lot of Phoviuses, but here, I don't know. Should they go for Phovius? I don't like Phovius. There's no way they go for gold lane Phovius. Yeah, they go for Bea. Okay. Pretty on point so far. TNC against Bea, Haya, Yuzong, Eve. I don't know, man. Wait, let me think about it. I just say KHUFRA. Pretty good catch. Pretty good catch. If they want to limit the movement from the Haya Franco, but it's too vulnerable. Like the Yuzong can literally cancel the bloody hunt pretty easily if she's in Black Dragon form. And they haven't picked up a roamer, right? They can actually go. Yeah, KHUFRA. There you go. For XP. Hey, so Terizla, I said should have been banned out if they want to get a winning lane for the Yuzong. So boom, there you go. You can't spell, dude. Diggy just works so well here. I'm gonna have to be honest with you, man. It does well against everyone. Everyone here. It has to be Diggy. But But I think this might be where they made a mistake. They don't pick the Diggy. They pick something like what do they go for? Last time I watched Ogwen, he went like Edith Rome. It's not a good Edith Rome game in my opinion, except for the Lance. Probably the Lance is the only one you can really catch. Lolita banned out. They go for the Grok. The Grok isn't bad, but this is a perfect Diggy game. This is literally the perfect Diggy game. There's so much like CC. You're gonna be free, especially the Beatrix. Beatrix is gonna be so free in these team fights. Yeah, all right. I think if the Beatrix was picked, it would have been like a free game. Okay, maybe not free, but an easy game to win. Let's see. Because now they have like solid winning lanes, in my opinion, for TNC. The Beatrix 1-1 lane is a bit of a skill matchup. 1-1 can definitely win it, even though Beatrix can use the flexibility of her kit with a lot of weapons. The Grok does well in the early game, and I think the main reason it got picked up is to try to create, that slow build going for the minions. In the early stage, so they do get a little bit of an advantage early. Well played. Well played early on. This is something that a lot of, this is very underrated. Still, for amongst ranked players, but you should know. For pro players, I think this is pretty common, right? The early gank and just putting some pressure down, even though you don't get kills. Guys, ganks don't always need to, ganks do not always you don't need to get kills with a gank. As long as you relieve pressure, like sometimes off of your losing lane or the lane that you're not, too comfortable on, it's already good. Like Innocent gets so much pressure off of that gank. Super Mirko has to constantly be checking now. He's aware of that position. As long as Benthings doesn't reveal himself on the map, he's always going to be thinking like, hey man, he ganked me earlier, right? This could be something that he's doing right now again. And getting some HP down from the enemy gold laner or enemy XP laner just gives so much more room. So remember, just put some pressure down on the lanes, guys. You don't always need to, go for kills. If you don't think you're going to get a kill, it's fine. Especially when there's no jungle camps or especially when there's nothing to do early on, right? Like, because of that, the 1-1 is having a pretty good lane already. Escalera with a good roam bot to get level 4. Hestu actually helps him, and King Kong does a very good pull here, but... Oh, it doesn't get reset. Ogwen doesn't reset it. Wow, well played King Kong. Well played Escalera as well. Beautiful positioning on the feather airstrike there. Yeah, it's really good setup. TNC definitely got the better setup there. BREN tried to respond, and it's also not bad from BREN. Like, they just tried to respond. They didn't try to commit. They didn't try to, force anything. Does Ogwen not play Diggy? Is that the reason they went for a Grok instead of the Diggy? Because I think they already have, not the best engage with Yuzong, but they already have engage, right? If the Diggy pick came through. Oh man, Benthings again. Well played, Benthings. It's a trade I'd take. Unless Benthings 1-1, taking the lane slow. Even though Super Mirko actually rotated. Good decision by him, because it actually ends up with a gold cannon minion being lost out by the side of the Beatrix. And again, yeah, TNC, the way they're playing this is just really good. They are capitalizing on BREN's mistakes every single time. They're playing in a way where they're punishing. They're not reacting. They are reacting, but they're reacting to punish. They're not reacting to save or to minimize their losses, which is great. Trades on the map constantly, right? Except for the Benthings engage. Like when they saw BREN rotated up top when Escalera died, and they're not just reacting, they're also very proactive on the map. They're reactive when they have to, and they're proactive when they have to. Solid plays from TNC, dude. TNC, holy sh! Looking at the gameplay so far, I don't know how they're a bottom team. I don't know how they're 8th place. They're so good. Good snipe by Super Mirko. Good spot by him. Yeah, neutral objective takes definitely favor TNC here because of the Hayabusa. The way you win out with the Hayabusa here is probably through picks or ganks, right? But KHUFRA hasn't really been able to find that because Benthings has been so good at opening the space up for the team. Again, the red tree battle. One few. Oh, pops the RWM. Well played again, dude. They're really playing these neutral objective takes super well for TNC. The setup is amazing. Like they always get control first, and the way they position as well. Play with the vision like really well. Items, just proper respect early on. Nothing too fancy. Fury Hammer and 2 Legion Swords for the Bea. Again, nothing too fancy. It's something you want to do, by the way. If you guys play Beatrix, just ignore the boots. Go for the Fury Hammer and 2 Legion Swords, and do not take too many fights early on. Okay.
BREN Esports needs to find a way to get at least one pick off through Ogwen's wild charge, because if not,
The Lancier is just doing so much, and Colin isn't really able to gank any lane because there's no killing pressure on any lane.
base that he needs, and then proceed from there. Super Marco now faces danger again.
Okay, they already get the flicker out from Super Marco, so for them, for TNC, that is a win. They're going to focus on the turret now too. Kyle TZ again at half health, just being invaded.
Oh wow, Benthings!
Super Marco.
Crossbow tang.
Now Ogwen
Oh, okay. I thought it was gonna move over to few. Well played. Well played, dude. And the winning lane, Hesu. This is why getting a winning not winning lane, I mean winning matchup. This is why, guys, this is why you go for like, this is why the winning matchup is so important, right? That's why I feel like I'm not too big of a fan of the Lapu ban over there. I think, yeah, I don't know. Game number 1, it feels like BREN kind of got outdrafted.
My goodness, that is mechanics over mechanics that is displayed by the
Like the Terizla really shits on the Yuzong.
for Kyle TC to just see Benthings out of nowhere, and from there he used the shadow.
He wins in trades, even in prolonged trades, I believe he should win, especially when he gets to Dominance Ice. Maybe early on he just looks for trades and clears, but in the long game as well, if he goes for the full all-ins with Dominance Ice, he should win. Oh, Brandon, I didn't even realize it's not Flap Teasy, it's Pandora. Huh.
Yeah, he jumps in again, but that's just how much confidence he has. And you know, that's the thing.
So they're not using their full lineup
On the shoulders of King
for BREN.
right now, he's having actually just a grand old vacation time.
I don't know if TNC are using their main lineup.
Benthings though, man, he is making plays.
No? And so far it's just again really good. The way they've been playing out the map as well. Once they go for the top side, they just completely just shove it out continuously. And wow, early respect for the Hayabusa already from Innocent. So it's still like plays.
He's gonna jump in again, finding the right mark.
Dude, Benthings is cracked. What's up with these? What's up with the? Okay, I just really want to see what. Yeah, I mean, it's well played. You're doing so well.
Super Marco falling all
It's worth it, dude. Benthings can die. It's all good, dude. They got a turret down below, and Benthings gets a good position. Finds Super Marco. Hell yeah, I'll take that any day.
messy, but any trade where it's the roamer for the gold laner is a trade.
The pure respect, though, from Innocent early on is very good. Up against a lot of physical damage dealers, I think it's just really smart. Kyle, even though he's behind, he's 0-2-0, he can still 1v1 the 1-1 pretty easily, one-shot the 1-1 pretty easily. So with the win of nature, basically Kyle TZ, basically TNC are making Kyle TZ useless. It really doesn't matter what he goes for anymore now. The gold laner has to steal like plates and a win of nature while he's also ahead. If I'm ahead on the 1-1, I'd usually just go for DHS corrosion almost every single time. That's why I sometimes, throw the game. That's why these pro players don't. Oh my god. Now he gets the DHS. So not even too behind. 8 minutes for a DHS on the 1-1 is still really good. Considering he has a win of nature, even better. Now they just completely use the waves again to siege. They play around. So they always send. Their strong side of the map is the 1-1, right? So they always play around the 1-1. So they send the winning matchup they already have, the Terizla, up top, where they know no one can really 1v1 him. He can just completely clear, control that part of the map, and BREN will have to send a few members to take him down. And then TNC just play around the Lord. They play around the bottom side. Why they decide to lane swap early on is for the turret, but now it's to control the Lord. And again, this well played. Benthings again. I really want to give props to how Innocent plays this, right? Because this is very well coordinated by Innocent. You think, whoa, what are you doing? Why is a marksman zoning them? I think TNC, especially Innocent here, with a Win in Nature built up, with a steel leg plates as well, he can do this. Plus, he knows that, fun fact, KHUFRA is a initiate kind of roamer, is an initiation hero, but the way he initiates is very different. It's not like he can initiate out of nowhere. KHUFRA is like one of the heroes, the roamer heroes, that needs someone to set up for his initiation, right? So Innocent is doing this on purpose, and TNC are doing this on purpose too. They're taking the Lord just to bait BREN, with proper setup already, and Innocent is just playing around them, so it kind of gives BREN kind of a false sense of safety, right? Where they think, hey, it's just a marksman, and then Benthings comes in from the mid lane. It just plays around, it subverts BREN's expectations, and yeah, I mean, props to Innocent. With the Win in Nature and with the steel leg plates, that's something you can do, and that's something he did really well. Gave him a 7,000 gold lead. This is well played, well played. Now you really understand why he went for the Win in Nature. It's just really smart. Because if you go for the DHS there, I think BREN were aware that he had a Win in Nature. That's why they didn't really, like, pull the trigger. And also, aside from all that, even if they decided to go in on the Wan, she has a built-in Purify. So that's something that Wan can do that all gold laners can't. Maybe there's a case to be made for Melissa. But yeah, this is beautifully played. This should be a fast game. Looking at this, I think TNC won game 1. I don't think there's a way for BREN to come back. If they play it perfect, there's still no way for them to come back. If TNC makes a mistake, there you go. That's how they come back. But with a gold lead this massive, it'll be pretty sad. I don't know if I jinxed them here. It's not even live, but at this point, Mirko curse, right? It transcends live streams. It goes through pre-recorded streams too. Yeah, and again, the beauty doesn't matter because the only member that they can pick off is Escalera. And I'm trying to look for the items here. Okay, no Winter Truncheon, so technically it can still happen, but yeah, it's just hard to say. And then TNC also just getting that tier 2. Massive value for the First Lord. First Lord value, great value is really just getting all tier 1s with the First Lord, right? So they have gotten that value already. The fact that they got a few base turret procs as well is solid. Sea Halberd. For the Yuzong. Yeah, for the shield too. There you go. Leo just said it. The Sea Halberd is good. It's a really good item. It kind of does, like, it has really good synergy with the DHS guys. Because of the new passive, Punish. You do 5% of the maximum HP damage, and oh my god. That's what happens when a 1-1 snowballs, bro. 2-0 and 2, but the farm that he got all the way, the lead that he has. Nice one, Benthings. Benthings is so good. I remember watching him in season 9, I believe. That was when TNC were like really good, right? They were top 3. They were number 1 in the standings for some time, if I'm not mistaken. And Benthings was the regular season MVP. I don't know if that's correct, but Benthings was up there in the MVP standings, like as best roamer as well. That's why I know the name Benthings, but everyone else, no disrespect, I haven't watched a lot of TNC games, so I just don't know. And I also saw some TikToks on my For You page, and Benthings is a very fun guy. I think he dances a lot, right? I don't know if that's actually him, but the comments used to say like Benthings, he just dances and stuff. Well played. It's so well played. Again, the way they time their engage as well, their skirmishes for the Lord, that's something you kind of expect for teams when they are this ahead, and TNC does it really well. They, again, look for fights when it's time. Alagang Archangel is now ranked 3rd in total assists in MPL PH history with 1962, surpassing Chaknu's 1961 assists. King Kong with the punctures. And again, the way they're utilizing this, just remember, okay guys, every single time they make a very aggressive play that looks like they're overextending, it's all a setup for the KHUFRA. That's something you need to be aware as well when you're up against a KHUFRA, and when a member, like a tanky member or a very sustainable member or a very mobile member, like say a Benedetta, a Lancelot, a Wan does that in front of you, it's usually to set up or the KHUFRA. So if you don't have vision on the KHUFRA, do not engage. It's all a bait, okay? It's a bait for the KHUFRA. Even it happens even here in the pro games, right? So especially for us, good Ardu, really good real world manipulation there, and then the way he spreads it, right? He just spreads it all across there in the immobility field. Good siege already. Again, they're just three-way push. They get one base turret. It's already value. Up against a comp that has pretty good high ground, a Beatrix and a Eve, getting one turret, base turret, little by little is fine. As long as you continue to suffocate and, you know, freeze the waves, right? Do not continue to, like, full push the waves because it can give BREN some sort of engage tool or capability or chance to actually come back. Good one by Ogwen there. Really good one. Escalera is still able to back away, but honestly, looking at the fight right now, the way Pandora is super far away, it's still worth it for Innocent. Crossbow Tang. Oh no! See? That's the range, guys. That's the range. That's the range that you need to... That range is so bullshit. It's so bad. Like, 1-1 is so bad. The ultimate, I mean... I'll replay it, okay? Just see how small the range is for the crossbow Tang now. Like, it pops the crossbow Tang. Look, this is the range now. What? It's so small, dude. Oh my god. And they buff the movement speed on the crossbow Tang, but no one buys boots on the 1-1. And even if you give 100% of the mobility or the movement speed, 100% movement speed, additional 100% movement speed during the ultimate, I still don't think it's worth it. I don't know, maybe we'll see like I'll try playing like rapid boots 1-1. I'll see if it actually works out to just give the crossbow Tang a bit more, you know, space to make those plays, but that was well played by Ogwen. And like I said, TNC, I kind of jinxed them there. I said they shouldn't be pushing. They should just be freezing, and they just push and they shove the waves in, giving BREN you know, a chance to engage. Literally what I said. Remember, guys, don't get over greedy as well in your rank games if you're really trying to like push. If you really want to get good, because even here in pro play, it sometimes still happens. Especially for us in rank games. I say this, but I will continue to overextend and greed out for faster games. But it's just not worth it. In the end, if you really want to climb fast, just stay disciplined, and you know, go for the fights that you win. Because in a position like that, it's definitely, you know, advantageous to BREN. You know, like the advantage KHUFRA has is through the vision and through map control, right? And the map control that they've already set up for themselves is already really good. The fact that they've gotten all 2 base turrets already, they should just play with that, and that's what they're doing now. That wasn't too bad, by the way. Like, even when they lost that team fight, it wasn't too bad. It was just them being really a bit, but their core members didn't die. As long as Innocent and King Kong doesn't give their bounties away, and even Innocent doesn't have a bounty, King Kong's the only one with a bounty, it's all good. Like, really, it's all good. They got 2 base turrets for it, so in that trade, obviously, if you're TNC, you do not want to die there, but it's still a good trade for TNC.
Marco to unleash the amount of damage that he has, because even if Super Marco isn't really have the best of games that he's had in this series, it's still 2-2 and 2, and you have that weapon mastery. That's really going to be huge for you if you want extra damage on your side.
Yeah, and he just picked up the wind chant. He now has the wind of nature, so he's going to be fine going toe-to-toe against Innocent, even maybe Hesu or King Kong.
There you go. See, maybe that's the reason BREN didn't go for the Diggy, right? Because Diggy can't do those kind of maneuvers. And that's why the Grok has a bit more value. And the Lolita would have just been the best pick for BREN. Maybe. But it was banned out. Oh, man. The wild charge is... That's basically it. That's it. Like, the wild charge defensively, but props to King Kong, because that looked really bad. It could have been really bad. King Kong, good retry, dude. If Kyle stole that, BREN would have been able to, you know, again, push the game a bit longer for those, for more items and for them to have more pressure. Looking at the items.
onto the other opponent. So he
Counter-Strike final item for Beatrix. Full. Oh, brute force breastplate. There you go. That's what I said. Okay, so wait, why can't I pause the?
Coming down the
Oh.
zone, gonna force Super Marco back.
My bad, guys. I'm sorry. I wanna move back here. So there you go. What I said earlier, right, about the 1-1. So with the brute force, you kind of understand that now. He's also trying to utilize that mobility, right? You get a little bit of movement speed there through stacks, and it kind of helps with the crossbow tang. Other items looks very normal though. It's just a bit more respect from Innocent as well.
TNC knocking on the door.
Now this is gonna be a
It should be GG right here.
Bren. Everything coming
Should just be GG right here.
zone, gonna force Super Marco back. They're still going, but Pandora does
Yeah,
fall.
GG. Well played. Wow, TNC. Well played. It's been 30 minutes, but I think we're gonna do 2 games. We might have an hour here of like analysis, but let's move on to game number 2 here. Let's move back a little bit. Okay. So BREN, first pick this time. Again, first pick usually has an advantage because they are able to dictate the drafts, and second pick always has to ban Joy. If they don't, it's GG. Farsa, Kadira, Kaja. So respect for Farsa, respect Kaja. No Valentina ban just yet. Fanny and Glue. Should be the Joy last ban here. The Lancelot gets respected. The Fredrin was completely ignored last game, by the way. But I don't think it's going to be ignored here. What? Ooh, that is a risky move, dude. Letting the letting the Joy open. Yeah, I don't know, man. The Joy got nerfed, quote unquote nerfed. I don't think it's a big enough nerf though. Joy, definitely pick up the Joy. There's no way they don't first pick the Joy here. In Indo, it's almost guaranteed. With the Joy, it's 100%.
It's now called the Master Assassin. Look it up.
That's
Wait.
actually the same thing.
They
Because again,
changed it. They changed it just recently.
Arlet.
I believe the Electro Flash.
Yes,
it's
it's
now
now
called
called-
Quantum Charge.
Exactly, right? So now, we walked into this little change.
Right.
But are we going to see the same situation with a Hayabusa possibly in the half
That's
Kyle Teasy? Because
Joy pick now for TNC, no?
just like that, zip by.
It'll be that. This is so greedy. If they let go of the Joy, this will be so greedy. Okay, they go for the Joy. Oh my god.
No! Going 1-1 for TNC!
Dude,
The Arlet works.
I don't know how BREN beat this. For real. This is gonna be a very interesting game. Now I know what happens because game 1, they already won. I don't know why my camera was blurry there, but it's back. Because game 1, TNC won, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it is a 2-1 in the series. So BREN should have. How did they win this game? They banned out the Kaja while into the Joy Open. KHUFRA? They have to go for something like a KHUFRA. They have to go for some anti-dash. Maybe the Minsatar is a good choice, but it's still, really smart. How did I forget about that? Dude, I am so dumb. Holy shit. Oh my god. This is 2 birds with 1 stone, guys. This is literally killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Melissa does well against the 1-1 in lane. Has the advantage. Pokes 1-1 down. Shits on the 1-1 so hard, especially early game. And also, the go away stops the Joy. So there's no need for them to go for like a KHUFRA. If you pop the go away, Joy cannot dash through the go away. So the Melissa is a pretty good hero up against the Joy. I'm a Melissa main, and I forgot about that. Stupid. Anyways, they pick up the Lolita first here as well. So they realized, a little bit of a mistake that they made in game number 2. And this is good. No, again, the KHUFRA here, not as value as it was back in game number 1. Now there's like proper response to the KHUFRA and the Joy even. So yeah, I like BREN's draft a bit more here, despite them having a Joy in a 1-1. Melissa is the best. Like, honestly, for me, Melissa is the best marksman right now. As long as the Claude isn't up for grabs, I would say Melissa is the best pick. Melissa is the best gold laner right now, if there's no Claude. Because the only way Melissa loses, usually it's a Claude. It's a Claude that bullies. Or the Melissa user isn't good. Or the team just, all feeds and the enemy team snowballs.
It's gonna be worrisome, for Bren here because
And here they didn't even have a Farsa, right? Because of the ban. So they really set up well for the Melissa.
he's probably gonna have enough another big game.
Not a big fan of the Lunox ban,
They don't really have an
but maybe I just don't know. Bren's, Bren's way of draft. Maybe they have gone for the Lunox a lot, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't expect. Yeah, I don't think the. I don't like the Lunox ban here.
what in mid lane.
Yes. Is that enough? Does that work?
They banned Edith for the XP.
But I'm actually looking at a quite a different perspective here because this is very different.
What do they go for here? Ban. Another mage, maybe?
No mages have been picked up in the very first round of our matchup. In addition to
The
that,
Eve.
Farsa and the Valentinas are usually prioritized.
Eve, Farsa, Valentina, Lunox.
This is very different. You're actually
Julian.
look at a potential Julian pick that could be picked up by BREN Esports or maybe the Gushon once again. But again, it has been banned out already. So there's just a lot of other things that could be picked up here by the other members. Not to mention, Kadita is also available to be picked up here, especially
What ban?
Melissa for the side of BREN.
Does Bren go for? XP lane. Against the Arlet. Yuzong is probably like a. Yuzong is a good band here. If they really want to give Arlet some room to play with, Yuzong kind of. Yuzong does well. It's a skill matchup still, but it does well against the Arlet. Going for the mid lane ban is okay too, but Joy can always be flexed technically to the mid lane. Not a. Haven't seen it in a long time. Can also be flexed in the jungle. They go for the Martis ban.
For a lot of times,
Okay.
they're gonna be
So Bren, what are they going for? Are they going for another assassin?
are still open. So it might be a chance or an opportunity for
Let's see.
TNC to pick up the Kadita before the others pick it up.
Yeah, I think they
TNC. What do they pick up?
or guard.
They need an XP? Unless the Joy goes XP here. They need a jungler.
Hopefully one day before
I guess this comp Fredrin doesn't do too well.
we've seen it, it's not. I'm okay with this though. At least it's something different, right? Where now
I don't like the Kagura though. I don't like the Kagura.
He does great things
Right.
with this.
I think a good choice for them would have been a Eve. Like, the Eve wasn't banned out.
Now could be
I think for Bren,
for BREN Esports. Again,
they have a choice to go for Lilia or Eve.
see where TNC is actually heading. Like
Lilia or Eve. The Lunox has been
Joy the Kagura,
banned out. Lilia or Eve. Yeah, probably Lilia or Eve here.
you wouldn't easily
What would I go for? Better mid control to shut down the Kagura.
build up that Numinum Blast.
Wave clear, Lilia. But if you want to poke the Kagura down, then the Eve is definitely the option to go for. They go for the Hellcurt.
by the way, the Phobius. Okay, that's real quick before we talk about that. You take this Joy, you put
Dude,
Phobius one on her early
These drafts for Bren, this is like, this is a scary draft. Such a good draft.
So this is a focus mid.
Boom, smack. Boom, smack. And then the silence as well. And then the Arla to like,
They're running it back.
this. I would say go for, I don't, fudge. I have a Joy already. Flex the Joy into the jungle, I would say. And then go for something like a Yuzong, because that'll work the best. In my, or go Esme. No, I can't go Esme. I don't know. If they really want to, no, Phobius is going mid.
Mobility, agility, right?
They go for Tamas in the XP lane. I said Esme because I thought, you know what, maybe try to shut down the Phobius, but then I remembered, you know, the Phobius is going mid, not XP.
So this is TNC telling Hesu, all right, hunker down. You're gonna have to keep that.
Yeah.
Oh no. The Arla.
Not a big fan of the drafts here for TNC.
Because again, that is
Like,
where
at all.
having quite the difficult.
It started off real strong with the 1-1 Enjoy, but the Melissa pick is so good here. And then they go for a Phobius, they double down on that. Should be a quick game.
The lottery. They got two of the biggest picks.
Unless TNC, again, Brandon's been proving me like wrong in the draft a lot, so maybe TNC proves me wrong in the game. Oh, it is Joy Jungle.
Okay, you know what? We got blindsided.
Yeah, I'm.
Joy in the jungle.
Yeah. Right, the Tamas pick. I fucking blanked out.
Look where BREN
We
thinks
were
they
so surprised by the way when the Hellcurt and the Phobius picking up that we didn't realize.
So at least I was right in the draft about the, you know, I flex the Joy into the jungle and pick up in the. I said Esme, but yeah, I think. Ooh, that was almost so good for Benthings.
No, all right, they get the flicker out.
All right, so
But that's the thing though. You could actually see Thamus in the jungle.
Thamus versus Arlet is a pretty good matchup, guys. The Thamus has a bit of an advantage when it comes to the wave clear and stuff, and early game as well can put some pressure down on Pandora, but it is ultimately kind of a skill matchup
his sleeves are
in the 1v1s. if it's just 1v1. Obviously, like with the pressure that Hesu has, the way that Tamas counters the Arlet isn't just in 1v1 duels, but mostly it's through like clearing the wave up and then rotating across the map and then helping your team, right? Because of more pressure that you have. But already very early
the picture, right?
kill up top.
On this Droid jungle, how's this gonna pan out here, Sona?
Interesting. I'm very curious to see how that happened.
Esports already
I can't see it though, but
a decent
yeah.
distance onto the top.
Melissa dying very early, definitely not a good sign.
A lot of ways for them to initiate. First is that mobility.
I like the Hellcurt pick. I really like the Hellcurt pick.
Second is the damage that could be displayed with
Like that silence is really gonna hurt the 1-1. And even the Joy, actually.
amount of
The silence is really gonna hit those two.
those itemizations done. And now that the turtle
You see? You see how Hesu was able to set up a bit faster, and he pulled the turtle so that BREN can't really go for it earlier. But now they go for it, but it's already a bit delayed because of the Tamas. So that's really how Tamas counter. It's not like a natural. It's not like a dueling counter. He does do better in duels when he's ahead, and he can get ahead. He has a bit more to play with. That's why he can get ahead.
Just have BREN do the work while we get in position. Also, Benthings isn't even up here, so they might be looking for a trade if they can find.
He goes for the vengeance too, right? Yep.
But also both roamers top side, so
Kyle has a retry advantage though with the Hellcurt.
both teams working.
Can chain the retry a bit better.
They do grab
There you go.
Kyle Teasy,
Well played.
the first turtle of the game here.
things are now going to be starting to look different for Brenny.
I feel like the Lunox ban kind of like helped BREN in the grand scheme of things because I think the Lunox would be a good pick against BREN's. Not really a great pick against BREN's comp, but it would be an okay pick, I'd say. Well played by Kyle, but even better by Hesu. I was about to say, well played by Kyle. He was waiting to use his second skill there for the vengeance to, disappear first, but Hesu just sidestepped it like it was nothing. Well played, man.
Fine. Now, top lane, gold lane has been relatively mum. Oh, wait.
There's still, at this point, you gotta just kind of, what we're seeing is both roamers just kind of babysitting this lane, right? They want to put basically their stocks in these gold laners to transition really well throughout the game. And hopefully, again, you have to have this answer against the 1-1. Now, yeah, previous game, Innocent wasn't the sole reason why they won that game, but you don't want him to get to that.
Nothing happening right now, man. Just trying to read out like the movements from both teams.
So now, that's why we see so much focus here.
TNC need to use like the kill pressure that they have with the Kogura, because if they don't, I don't know. I don't see how the Kogura can have like a good impact on the game. The burst she has is not going to be enough to get any of the frontliners,
To that 1-1 who is
and Super Marco is going to be so far back in these team fights, man.
just now. So even if Brenny Esports
Easy to bully. Look at that, right? Again, that poke
kill the DNC,
is so good for Super Marco every single time. Shoves the wave a bit faster, gets proper trades. Oh, Super Marco. Oh,
fortunately for them, there is
Benthings with a missed flicker.
flicker skill that has been wasted. It was used out of good intentions, but it didn't really come.
This could be a kill.
Was that about 2 or 3 feet short?
Yeah.
And for 2 minutes, it's down.
Super Marco just kind of had a feeling, right? He's like, this is
Both teams again playing it really slow.
So they have
Very slow game. Very slow game.
that this leads into this next turtle
But I think
objective.
with one fight,
Most likely
if TNC makes a mistake, BREN are gonna capitalize. If BREN make a mistake, TNC are gonna capitalize. Like it's about that one fight because the compositions are a bit like all inny. It's like about all ins.
top side though, the
Once a
where it's at. Owen in trouble.
wow, Super Marco
The kill.
saved the go away for so long there.
So the game here, top side though. The
Like here,
where it's at.
I thought he would like just pop that go away to help Ogwen out.
So the focus is where it's
Like
at.
before, like right here.
Securing the second turtle of the game.
I thought, he'd just pop the go away right here, and then Benthings can just, not Benthings, Ogwen could just walk into the go away. Then he could I think both of them could have survived. Maybe it's a bit too greedy.
Objectives are safe for maybe the gold lane. If anything, TNC has been pressuring Super Marco so much that maybe this top lane gold lane.
Thing is, Melissa is probably also one of the best weak side gold laners, right? So it's the most flexible gold laner. That's why I'm saying Melissa's the best gold laner right now. If there's no clone on the enemy team, it's because the way she's so independent in lane. She can open up the map really well. She can get vision with her second skill, with her first skill as well. If she's out of range of the bush, she can just pop the second skill and then move the second skill, the muddle, with her first skill. If she gets engaged, if she has that go away that gives her magical defense, physical defense, gives her a big barrier technically where no one can really get in unless it's an Arlet.
Kong is actually managing to take
But yeah, that's why even here, TNC are pressuring Super Marco a lot. He still has a gold lead. Why? Because he's still able to zone Innocent away, and the way he's able to play this lane, just taking the lane slow every single time, utilizing that range to continuously poke Innocent down, he's been getting an advantage little by little through the minions, through the last hits. That's why the Melissa is really good. That's how I usually play the Melissa too when I'm up against like a very aggressive team, or even in a, if my team plays strong side towards the bottom side, the enemy team tries to react to the top side, to my lane, I'm all good. Maybe I die once, right, with an early game, just like this, but overall, it should still be an okay time. I would say even a good time for Melissa, because Melissa that snowballs obviously is the optimal route to go for, but a Melissa that just scales in lane is pretty good too, man.
It's best to zone them out, but now that this ultimate's down, right?
Because Melissa is a really good like late game hero.
But hopefully they have an answer for that when it comes down to those lords after this. So again,
BREN gets more pressure
he needs, but
despite TNC.
work with here. So just as expected, BREN could secure the third turtle of the game here.
Oh, wow. I ate my words. It's actually the XP lane that goes up first. Wait!
Okay, there's few jumping in, has a demonic force, and nothing gonna convert.
Well played by BREN, man. They noticed the Benthings used the Tyrant's Revenge up top earlier already, maybe a bit too early, and they went straight for the turtle, knowing that there's no Tyrant's Revenge anymore to play with for quite some time. TNC will have to give it away, because if they forced that fight, it would have been a bad team fight for them to take. And again, it's just a slow game, because BREN understands that they can play it slow. I think it's TNC who can't play it slow. They don't really have a good late game draft.
later portions of the game. They want
Like, they get outscaled. You would say 1-1, Mirko. Yeah, the 1-1 does scale to the late game, but not as good as the Melissa. Melissa definitely does better in later stage.
stop playing go.
And you can already see the damage coming in from the mid-game power spike from the Melissa. And the Joy. Sure, it can deal damage in the late game, but that go-away is really going to stop him. And the Phoveus pick, the Arlet, there's so many things that will go well.
Land that one.
Again, like I mentioned, they can't really one-shot. I don't like the Kagura pick at all in this game. Like, really, I really dislike the Kagura pick. I think the Eve pick would have been a bit better.
They know some of these resources are down. Innocent, gotta be careful. There's the final slash, putting him in place if he can.
Yeah,
There,
no, Innocent is dead.
gonna fall. King Kong
With a Lolita, a Melissa, a Phoveus. Nah, yeah, this is gonna be a fast game, dude. Luckily, I chose game 2 to go for like to combine game 1 and game 2, because I think if I did game 2 solo, yeah, GG, man. No, I feel like it's just GG. I think if the only way TNC wins is if they get a snowball early game. If they lose in the early game, or if they go even with BREN's comp, it's over. Like, for real, even though they have 3 kills and it's only a 3,000 gold lead, I see no way of them like winning on these team fights. Literally, I see no way.
Spirits have already been lost by the side of the Phoenix.
I don't know. I maybe I'm dumb, but I literally don't see a way that they win this.
Under the radar in the
Super Marco goes like Super Marco can cancel the joy. I mean, yeah, can cancel the joy, can cancel the 1-1's dashes with the go away. And then they have a silence to play around. If Innocent gets too far ahead or like, gets all the weakness points, she's gonna be like pretty far up ahead. That's where the silence comes in from KHUFRA, and that's where the burst comes in to kill Innocent. And while they're dashing, there's a Phoveus, and obviously there's also Lolita. Okay, look at this. They don't even need to do anything. Innocent just gets soloed, and even if he gets across the Tang, she's gonna die either way. Better retry as well with the health curd. Well played, GG.
King Kong able to get the kill. Hesu falls. King
Oh man.
ultimately getting the Lord here, but they lost.
Oh wow, what? I didn't even see. How the fuck did King Kong get the Lord?
Marco grabbing the kill.
Huh?
Thanks for the leash. They say now.
Well played. KHUFRA definitely has the advantage when it comes to the retry battle. What? And Kyle is 2 levels ahead. Hesu, I guess. Well played by King Kong. Wow, it shouldn't have happened.
TNC ultimately getting the Lord here, but they lost 3.
That's an expensive trade, but at least TNC walked away with something.
Wow, I'm really surprised. Well played, King Kong. 2 games. His retry has been on point. Really on point.
But again, when you manage to take a look at it, TNC had the upper hand from the start because they've managed to land themselves first in terms of the Lord skirmish. But unfortunately,
Yeah, and this Lord is most probably going to be utilized by BREN to get even more of a gold lead. Because again, TNC don't really have the tools to push the pace.
start the team fight because the Tyrant's Rage and Revenge combos weren't really hitting. It seems like BREN Esports.
Look at that gold lead, bro. 1.3k. 1.4k for the Melissa on top of the 1-1. And honestly, I'd say go for the Haas clause. I won't say go for Wind of Nature. I just say go for Haas clause. The 1-1 is not a threat at all in this game for the Melissa. Phobia's already with Winter Truncheon as well. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't see what the 1-1 can do. I really, like, unless Benthings gets a 5-man ult, even then, Few has a Purify. And then he can just Purify out, use that Demonic Force, force them away. Oh. I think next Lord, if BREN don't fuck up with the Lord takes, they should get it for free. Or if TNC contests, they get the Lord and win the team fight and they end the game in a 12 minute, 13 minute. But if they get the Lord and TNC don't contest, which I think is gonna happen, I think that's what's gonna happen, considering they have this much map control. I mean, I don't know. They don't really have. This is also the problem with KHUFRA, right? When we get into the later stages, those engages are gonna be really hard if you're behind. If you're ahead, you are a monster. But if you're behind, yeah, you have to be really skilled, or the enemy has to be really, like, they have to make a mistake for the KHUFRA to actually get a proper engage. Ben are just gonna, and they don't even have a strong high ground. Like, they don't really have a good wave clear.
Specifically. Now, is that to say that that won't pan out later on? Well, they need a great opportunity to kind of crunch BREN up together to get that yin yang overturn off. And that's exactly what I was saying earlier. You know, when the Joy was picked, he had that Genius Wand early on, but still, we haven't been able to see that combination really work for TNC just yet. In theory, it should work, but what's happening is BREN is
They're just freezing the waves, only clearing out the mid lane, just to put some more pressure down. Topside isn't slow pushing to them, though, so they have to deal with that. Bottom lane is... should be a free Lord. Like, I really don't think TNC can go for this. BREN can just play around the Lord here to bait TNC out, and TNC goes for a fight a little bit. BREN gets a pretty good poke down, and TNC's forced to back away, and then it's a free Lord to BREN. Or, like I said, this is what can happen. TNC can just go for a big team fight here, and they lose it out. Like, yeah, it's just a... this could be just an insta push from BREN. It's gonna spawn in the 40th second here. They get the Lord right in time. Boom, boom, boom. 3 waves, and then they crash all 3 waves at the same time. No high ground, like I mentioned. TNC are gonna get real... this is a big punish. Big punish. TNC's comp really, like, was... TNC were banking on early game. Wait, they don't even go for the 3-wave push. They just go straight for the mid lane, knowing they have no high ground. Yeah, I think well played. Well played. No high ground. They can just go for this fight. As long as Super Marco keeps his distance, it's easy. Yeah. That's Hesu. Vengeance. Then they chain it with waves pushing in. It's not a 14-minute in. Huh. Not yet. Maybe 15 minutes. No, it's just Pandora. Yep, it's free Benthings. It's GG. Oh, what the fuck? Super Marco's dead. What? I think even without Super Marco, they end this game. Yeah, okay. GG. Oh, is it an end? Yeah, no. King Kong's dead here. GG. GG. Well played. In game number 2, it was complete outdraft, I think. Personally, that's what I think. Game number 2. Game number 1 was really, really good by TNC. And I think TNC played really well, despite them having a draft that got completely countered. Yeah, GG. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below for game number 1 and number 2 of BREN vs TNC. Still a big shocker, though, that TNC is able to win in game number 1. We'll see what they do in game number 3 to actually take the dub. But let me know what you think in the comment section. If I missed anything, let me know. I remember I missed a few things in the last one. I don't know what it was. I think I was very tired in the last match analysis / reaction. I misread a lot of, well, not a lot of things. I misread one play in particular with few on the fair miss. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to watch, because game number 3 will be uploaded at the same time. Should be. Peace out.